So wait, do you think it's subjective, objective?
Well, I think that everything that Andrew just said is absolutely correct. I think that there is definitely standards of beauty. I think that there is definitely a golden ratio. But I do also want to bring up the point that, like, because that there's even a conversation about what is beautiful and not beautiful goes to show that there's people who are not beautiful in this world. So how did those people come to be here? Did they just spawn? No, they were made because two people who were not beautiful made a child together.
That's not even necessarily true.
But yes, it is. But yes, it is. How did these people get to be here then? If those people,
really good-looking people can have a really ugly kid.
I know, but that's not the point. The point is that people will procreate together if there is a shared love there. They don't have to both be. And yes, it could be because not everyone lives in LA, right? Where there's lots of beautiful women running around. But also, it's like, you know, you can't say that something like, I mean, I guess, no, you know what? I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I do think that attraction is definitely very important, but I think that it is extremely limiting to say so because I can speak for probably every woman here that we probably did an ugly man or two in our lives. Yes. Yep. Okay. Cool.
Wait, I actually want to challenge this a little
Please.
bit.
No,
Yeah,
please.
I'd like to challenge
This is where we get to the universals.
Yeah. So a couple things on this thing. So one, you'll say, well, I dated an ugly guy, but, and this, look, perhaps for some of you this won't be the case, but the man has made up for it by being exceptional in some other category.
Oh, no. The ugly guy was also horrible to me.
Well, that's on you. That's on you.
That's the one I was telling you about earlier. I told you that was a mistake that I made. Yeah.
The 8-month
Okay, well,
relationship.
here's a few questions.
Wait.
The ugly guy, was he taller than you?
Yes, he was.
How tall was
He
he?
was taller than you.
Not by much. He was 5'10". I'm 5'9".
Yeah, and do you consider, like, for instance, almost all
Oh,
women
no, but I've
men-
dated short guys, too. Trust.
Are you insecure about
not
your
saying-
height?
Are you insecure about your height? Hmm.
It has nothing to do with anything. Well, I'm 6 foot tall. Was there anything else you had? Was there anything else you had, babe? So anyway, back to where I was.
I think Andrew likes me, guys.
Before I was so rudely
I'm sorry.
interrupted, Dave.
Continue.
I wonder if you can, if we're talking about height universals, most women prefer men who are taller than them. So that would be universal. So when you say, well, this guy's really ugly, okay, yeah, maybe, but now we've just checked one of those universals, right?
Sure.
So I think we're getting inside of we're in the category, but now we have preferences. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think that also, like, so my term of saying, like, ugly guys, like, I definitely thought that he was attractive. All my friends did not. I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, like, where you're like, oh my God, this guy's so hot, like, he's so fit, whatever. And you show it to your friends and they go,
okay,
oh.
let me ask, no, hold on.
No, wait.
Why were you attracted to him?
Because, like, it's really hard to explain. For me, I think that the main thing was pheromones, which is, like, horrible, which is a very real thing.
So you smelled the guy.
No, a lot of men.
This is scientific. You can look this up, Andrew, babe, because you have Google unlocked. Can you look this up? Pheromones are like an actual, really real thing.
Clear, so I'm asking the question I'm asking you.
Yeah, but usually
hold on,
the other
hold
direction.
Hold on.
Yes.
So the question I'm asking you is, what appealed you to him? And the only thing you can cite to is
No.
pheromones.
Not the only thing. I said to start. If you
continue then.
So I liked that he was very giving. He was very feminine. He was very in touch with his feminine side, but he was also very masculine. He was like he took care of his health. I liked the way that he dressed. I liked the music that he listened to. Like there was a lot of things that go into it where it's this kind of
Did you like his personality?
I did like his personality when it first started. I liked his personality a lot. His personality is really what drew me in.
Okay,
I was
so
very
the claim that I was about to make was, while perhaps you claim he wasn't good looking, he made up for it by being exceptional in comparison to other potential men who you could have dated in another category.
No, but I thought he was attractive. Like that, I still do to this day think that he's attractive. My friends
Then he's
will
not
disagree
ugly
with me.
if you think he's physically
So that's
attractive.
what I'm saying about women. Because you're saying what are men gonna think about me in 10 years? If I think that I'm hot in 10 years, then why does it fucking matter what a guy thinks about me
Maybe
in 10 years?
infertile women make up for it in other categories then, as you say.
Maybe ugly women make up for it in other categories because whatever.
This is actually a very good point that you bring up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When you're talking about other categories, I think that the prioritization between men and women in these other categories is vastly different. So I think that men will put up and prioritize beauty and physical standards much, much higher than women will, whereas women are looking at an allocation of these different things, like perhaps resources, social status, various things like this, where men are mostly just prioritizing for this. So when you say, well, what about these, like other categories that men would be prioritizing for, I don't think they really prioritize for too many other categories.
Right.
To be honest with you, I really don't think they do very much.
But there's some, like, I don't want to write off all guys, because I think that there's some men who
Well, I think
definitely
they
aren't
want some
superficial.
things, like, there's some things that are going to be important. You can't be a bitch. You can't be insufferable. You can't fucking guess them all the time. Like, there's some things I think that they would consider to be a priority. But the thing is like, there's also a lot of guys who will put up with a lot of fucking shit from a totally stupid bitch just because she's hot, right?
This is so true. Yes.
And you're like, what are you doing? She's insufferable. And they're like, yeah, but she's hot, bro.
No, this is so true, and I hear that. But you can't write off all people. She's been wanting to talk forever. Hold on.
Don't you think a lot of women put up with insufferable stuff from men?
From good dick?
No.
Yeah.
I think so.
No.
I put up with a lot of shit for good dick. I'll tell you that.
For one thing, I don't think that there are as many men who are as insufferable as there are women.
my
I disagree on that so heavy. Like, that's insane
Wait,
that you just said
really
that.
quick on that.
Yeah.
Who's typically the one to be labeled as nagging, men or women?
Probably women, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
That doesn't mean they
insufferable.
are.
But just because they're labeled that way, because women are also labeled as sluts when men sleep with way more people than
Yeah,
women
but
do.
women are the ones who call each other sluts more than men
No,
call
dude.
them. They call
Well,
each
yeah,
other
'cause we're
bitches.
reclaiming
Take
it.
back
Men
the
call them
term, and we're fucking taking ownership of it.
Who's the one out of the two that love bomb more at the start and
Women do that
Oh
shit
my god,
all the
no,
time.
dude.
Do you
But
think?
I think
Men?
it's
I think
Listen.
that's a good point that she's making on the love bombing.
Thank
But what I've noticed is that there's a difference in age, a distinction in age. So I think when women are in their 20s and late teens, definitely men seem to be love bombing the shit out of them. But then in the 30s, 40s, that role seems to reverse quite a bit as the physical characteristics of the woman deteriorate.
okay. Interesting. I think that it's really also, I think that human in general is something that should be really much brought up right now, because there's a lot of evil women that I know who I think are fucking horrible and toxic and have all these things wrong with them. But it doesn't mean that I hate all women. Same thing, the reason that I think there's a lot of evil, horrible, and toxic men that I know, but I don't hate all men. I think it's like kind of, it's a little bit cheap to limit a generalization about an entire race of people just because 1 or 2 or 100
Well,
of
women
them are a
race of
certain way.
people.
Well, you know what? Okay, maybe not race. Sorry if I use the wrong terminology, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
One gender, and that's why I don't like to generalize. I think that it's not good.
I think you're correct, and then in another sense, not correct. So where I think you're correct is, I think it's probably unfair to say something like if a guy says all women are insufferable bitches. It seems totally unfair to me, right? But if you break it down in demographics, right, and you're like, most Western women are entitled. That seems like it's a fair statement. Now you're not disparaging all women. What you're doing is you're giving a category. You're showing the category. You're showing how most women who fit in this category meet this criteria. And so it's like, I think that those are fair statements.
I just want to know who put that category there. It's almost like, listen, like really quick. I think that women are put into a box. It is you are like the way the questions you're asking me. Do you think you're going to be more beautiful in 10 years, etc.? Women are put into a box of beauty, so they don't prioritize other things about themselves. So the only thing that is important to themselves is how they look, and I think that is extremely damaging. I really do. I think that it is something that needs to change, but I think it's also so unfortunate that we are put into this box of if you're beautiful, you are important, and if you're not, then you're not important. And then when women are obsessed with their beauty, we're called shallow, we're called all these words, we're called and it's like, well, who put us there? We didn't ask for this, we didn't sign up for this last time I checked. I personally want to be a professional. Do I like to look beautiful as well? Sure, but that's not my only thing that I care about myself. I have so many things that I value more than just that. So that's why when we go back to that topic about what men think of me, I don't care. Men can think that about any other woman. I don't care. If a man thinks I'm smart, sure. Do I think that I'm smart? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I ended that kind of weird, but I started on the right note, if that makes sense. Thank you.
You're fine.
Yeah, just wanted to put that out there because I agree with what you're saying, that these are patterns that we do recognize, especially in this 21st century where the internet is so incredibly important into our daily lives, and it is incredibly impactful. Girls growing up right now, they're seeing all these really, really beautiful women on their For You pages, on their Instagrams, and they're thinking, well, I have to be like that. But they're not seeing the doctors, they're not seeing the lawyers, they're not seeing the activists. They're just seeing the beautiful woman.
Or the beautiful doctors.
Or the beautiful doctors, which is the thing too. You can be beautiful and be successful. But like, yeah, thank you for bringing that up as well. Like, I just wanted to make that very clear, because like, it's almost like we're putting all of this pressure on what it's like to be beautiful when most of us didn't choose this. We're born.
All right, I'm moving
we were
on.
born this way.